Hey guys, Pixel Dan here. So I wanted to do a quick follow-up video on the Mattel 23-inch Voltron figure. Since I've posted my review online, I've talked to lots of people about all kinds of different issues and suggestions with Voltron here. And so I kind of thought it was time to go ahead and put together a video just kind of addressing some of the things I've been talking about with lots of people. By now, a lot of you guys who subscribe to Club Lion Force or who ordered the Black Lion on Matty Collector should be getting your Black Lion if you don't already have it, which means you've had a time to play with the Lion yourself, put together Voltron, and I've talked to some of you since getting it, and some of you are experiencing the same problems as me, others have suggestions. So I'm putting together this video just simply for informational purposes, just to cover a few of the top questions that I've been discussing with some folks out there. First thing I want to talk about are the clear sword stands. In my Black Lion video, I had mentioned that one of the problems I had with these is that once I put them on the sword and connected them to the bases, I couldn't find a proper way to take them apart. I still can't. And a lot of you had asked me, well, how did you finally get the sword out of there? Because you noticed that I had the sword loose in the Voltron review. And that's my mistake for not addressing that again in the Voltron video. But I never did figure out how to actually take the stand off of the little clip portion. And as you can see, I ended up bending them way out of shape. Just in order to pull the sword out. So what I did is I just kind of bent them and I yanked the sword out of there, and unfortunately they're misshapen now because of that, and they've got some stress marks on the plastic. So I definitely don't think that's the proper way to do it, but it's the way I ended up doing it. And I've talked to a few folks since they've gotten their own, and they're still having the same problems. A lot of people can't figure out how to take these stands apart once you put them together. So if any of you out there have a great way of doing it, I would love to hear it. Please share your information with us. That way we can kind of get the word out there, because it seems like a lot of people are having the same problems with these little clear sword stands. Alright, the other big thing that was addressed when I was talking about Voltron, I kept talking about how the legs were popping out on mine. As you can see, they still are. And a lot of people said that maybe try pointing the feet of the lion back towards the ankle, because that is, I guess, the way the instructions tell you to do it. So that, again, is my mistake for not really following the instructions. So the feet are supposed to point towards the ankles, I guess, to better help balance Voltron. I think that looks weird. That's not really the way that we were used to folding up the lion legs on previous Voltron toys, I guess. I will say that it does help a little, but I'm still having a lot of problems with the legs just popping out, as you can see, specifically on my blue lion here, and I didn't even hit the button. They just fly out constantly. I think my blue lion is just kind of a dud. Honestly, I set them down, I move them around, and those legs jut out constantly. So moving the feet did not help mine. I still have lots of problems with the legs springing out. So hopefully this is not something that a lot of you guys are experiencing, but again, I've had a lot of people tell me that they are having the same problems with the legs shooting out. But I still wanted to address that because a lot of people came to me and told me that I had the feet pointed the wrong way. So I do have them pointed the correct way now. Didn't really fix the problem. I still have springing legs. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was, I think I sort of gave a false impression, or at least some people took it falsely, that Voltron's articulation was really, really limited. I didn't mean to say that he's like a brick or didn't move at all, because he does have some good articulation, and I think one of the things I really didn't discuss, but I showed pictures, but I didn't really specifically mention, is that he does have the ability to move his legs outwards. He's got some pretty great hinge joints there. So the legs can spread outwards. They do swivel at the thighs there. They're a little stiff, but they do move around. So you can rotate his legs around. You can get some pretty good poses out of Voltron. I do still have that issue, though, where he kind of leans over no matter which way I stand him. There doesn't seem to be a good happy medium with see, I'm having balancing issues with the joints in the waist there, where I can't get him to stand straight up no matter what I do. I've tried bending the knees, I've tried, you know, articulating the waist around and the hinge joints of the thighs. He always leans a little bit forward or a little bit backwards. He doesn't stay in straight up. And when I put the sword and shield in his hands, that's where he leans forward the worst. That's just a good example of the problems I'm having. You can get them to stand, okay? I don't want to make you guys think that it's like impossible to stand them. There, I got them positioned. You just kind of have to mess around with them a little bit and get them standing up the right way. So, in the end, I still think it's a cool figure. I just think it definitely has its flaws. I still do not like the spring-loaded legs. Just little things like that. The sword holders were a good idea. I just don't think they were executed quite right. But in the end, I still have this massive 23-inch Voltron, and he's towering over all my other Voltrons in my display room. And I think plenty of people out there are still going to be very happy with this figure. It's just my job to point out some of the things that I have problems with. So I just want to thank you guys all of the comments, all of the emails I've had discussing the Voltron with me. That's what this follow-up video is for you guys. I would definitely wanted to do this just to kind of point some things out. And please, if any of you have suggestions for the sword holders or the legs popping out, you have similar issues, you have a better made Voltron that's not doing any of this stuff, tell me. Spread the word. Let's get it out there, because I know everybody's is going to be slightly different. They're not all going to be the same, and maybe I don't know, maybe I have a dud blue lion, and that's why his legs keep popping out. Maybe that's not everybody's. So I would definitely love to hear more from you guys. So there you go. Follow up on Voltron. Until next time.